In this episode of Mythbusters, get ready to rot.
That pig's gonna be one big bag of maggots.
Heard about the car with a big smell that won't sell?
The smell from over here is horrifying.
There's a terrible stink as an experiment goes too far. Plus, Dummy and Dumber. A Mythbusters superstar chases a raccoon down the drain to test the myth and blows a hole in the story. Who are the Mythbusters?
Am I missing an eyebrow?
Adam Savage.
I always enjoyed seeing Adam in pain.
Oh! And Jamie Heineman.
Jamie wants a big boom.
Between them, more than 30 years special effects experience.
Feel kind of sexy.
They don't just tell the myths, they put them to the test. For our myth-busting heroes, testing tall tales is a mix of danger and stupidity. Shocks and shakeups. And a liberal dose of their old favorite, explosions.
Well, I tell you what, you know that.
Usually it's a laugh and a test of wits, with the occasional tantrum.
I don't care, actually, Adam.
But are they about to meet their myth-busting match?
All hands on deck.
This experiment will take them into a world of putrid pain.
Christ, now I just got a really bad whiff of it.
Adam and Jamie want to test the myth of the stinky car.
This actually is perfect for us, this one. It's kind of gross, but it's excellent. It's been told for years. And the idea is always the same, that a really valuable car is on the market for a great price. No one will buy it because of the smell. Turns out that someone has died in the car, and even though they've attempted to clean out the smell, it still persists, and even at this great price, no one will buy it.
Our queen of folklore, Heather Joseph Witham, picks up the scent of this story.
You've got a young guy who wants a really hot car, usually a sports car. And young guys can't afford sports cars, and they can't afford nice cars, certainly. So this is the only way that this sort of blue-collar, working-class young guy is going to be able to get such an awesome car. But sort of the moral of the story is that the blue-collar guy never can get something that he won't be able to afford like this unless it literally stinks.
So what are the ingredients in this recipe for rankness? We need a car, and to simulate a rotting human, a pair of pigs that have died of natural causes. The method to the madness is simple, on paper anyway. Put pigs in car, leave to simmer for 2 months, then see if you can clean up the mess and sell the car.
I expect that this is going to be pretty bad, actually. I'm not looking forward to it, and yet I am.
Let's work on the least disgusting part first, buying a second-hand sports car.
Well, are you guys on schedule or what?
Are you Tom?
Yeah, I recognize you two.
Tom has an '87 Corvette for sale that looks about right.
This is my baby. Looks pretty good.
This is Tom's 5th Corvette. It's a love affair that's been running since the 60s.
Has anyone died in this Corvette?
Not to my knowledge.
Not to your knowledge?
No.
Have you heard about the myth of a car that was so stinky that no one would buy it, even though it was a really good deal?
No.
Okay, time for a test drive.
I always like a car that's got 4 or 5 controls just for your ass. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
That Corvette is a nice-looking car. You know, it's really sleek, really sexy Americana.
Okay, there's some power there.
Oh,
More than I'm used to.
The Corvette was the first all-American sports car. Chevrolet began production in 1953, and these stylish muscle cars quickly became classics. They've been building Corvettes ever since, 1 million on the road today. And at the wheel of every one of those cars is a very passionate Corvette fan.
What we're about to do to that Corvette is going to make a lot of veteran Corvette owners all over America squirm. You know, I mean, it's This is an absolutely horrible thing to do to a beautiful car.
Okay, that was fun. You'll enjoy driving this back to San Francisco. I think we should get it.
Yeah, I like it, and I think it's hot.
It's a done deal. But for Tom, there's a little twist in this transaction.
Farther than that.
Oh, really?
You want to tell him?
We have, waiting eagerly for this car, a recently dead pig that we're going to put in there and let it sit for about maybe a month or two. And I wondered what you feel about that.
Well, not real happy, to tell you the truth. I mean, because it's a really nice car.
What do you think all the other Corvette owners across America are going to be thinking about this when they see it on air?
When you put a dead pig in here, they're going to think you're nuts.
They may be right. Yeah, baby.
Time to take this machine back to the Mythbusters workshop and get it ready to rot.
Adios.
That's the last time this thing's going to be driving for a while.
Well, we've got wheels. Now we need squeals. To find a pair of pigs, Jamie and Adam have to go on safari. Welcome to Bischoff's, taxidermists to the stars, supplying stuffed stuff for films and TV. Gary here has an animal for every occasion.
Have our jaguars and our leopards here, and our whole bird area. Some of our favorite stuff is our stand-ins, like this little guy over here, one of our stars you might recognize from one of the movies. It's our little pug. This was beautiful. Men in Black 2. He's been taxidermied and preserved for the movie industry.
So these things, by and large, are dying of natural causes, then?
Yes, yeah. These animals are all natural causes. We don't go out and get animals and kill them for the movies at all.
He's got little pockets in his claws.
This is a scary freezer. Do you keep a separate freezer for, like food? Popsicles?
Yeah, does anyone have their lunch in there?
Ice cream?
No sign of the other white meat in there. Maybe it's time to pop the question.
We need to get a hold of some pigs for this project that we're doing. Pigs that have died from natural causes.
We'll put in a call and say we need 2, 3 pigs, whatever it is, and they'll search and they'll call us when they come up with it.
We asked Gary for the whole pig. That means the guts, the animal, everything that a pig naturally dies with. Because as it turns out, it's not all that easy to get a hold of that through like a butcher or other things. We want to replicate what a human would be like if that person died in a car.
It's a whole new fashion statement.
A week and a half later, the pigs are here.
I've got a dead pig in the truck.
They have just died of natural causes on a farm. The funky phase of this experiment is about to begin.
No, I'm gonna tape these up, man. I don't want this touching me anywhere. I'm ready to put on a second painter suit. We're also gonna test how good these actually are. There we go.
I feel ready to tackle the pig. Oh, yeah.
As the boys struggle to get a grip on their stunt hogs, a nose-withering stench begins to take hold of them, the air, and everything these putrid porkers come near.
Hey. I think it's already hard to sell this car.
All right, let's close it up.
Well, we'll come back in 3 months and see how it looks.
Not so fast, Adam. There's still a few little ham-fisted hiccups coming your way.
How come the lights are on? Are they pressing on a brake or something?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. The pig is pressing on a brake. In fact, I'll say that there's nothing we can do about it.
Rather than face the horror of more pig wrestling, Adam decides to disconnect the battery instead of moving the pig off the brake. It's a shortcut that will come back to haunt him. Next step, seal the vehicle.
That pig's going to be one big bag of maggots, and at some point I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't kind of like start to inflate and then explode, spewing stuff everywhere in the car.
I still don't have a problem with pork. I can go right out tonight and have, you know, some glazed ham.
Damn, it still stinks.
That guy missed the party. He's all like, yo, let me in, dudes. Yo, I know you got some good snacks in there. And they're all like, yo, dudes, we got all our kids in here. We can't let you in.
The Corvette is finally locked and loaded, but there's still a hint of trouble in the air.
Yeah, now, Christ, now I just got a really bad whiff of it.
My main concern is that the car seal them up. I really would just as soon not have that horrific odor in front of my shop for the next 6 months. I don't want the smell getting out of the car.
And right now, Jamie is convinced that smell has broken out and is making a dash for freedom. He reopens the car and tries to seal it even further.
What's going on, hombre?
Hop in, you want to take a ride?
Thanks, but no.
Well, it seems that the car's not as well sealed up as we thought.
Someone's sloppy work is a little stinky, too.
You didn't really do that good of a job of taping it up.
No, I didn't.
The smell, well, it's not like really, really powerful. It's just extremely pervasive. So the tiniest bit of it drives everybody nuts.
The car also has to be moved, and that turns one of their earlier quick fixes into a big problem.
The hardest part about this whole deal is we got to get the little pig off the brake.
We got to get the little pig off the brake.
Yeah.
Oh. Damn.
It's going to be kind of like surgery getting that damn thing out of there. And it's not pretty.
Ah, yeah.
Jamie and Adam thought parking 2 pigs in a car would be easy,
We're going to need more people
but it's
behind
turned into a marathon with more to come.
Hey, all right, that's good. Stop. Okay, well, I'm now going to be lifting that up.
You're going to be licking that up?
Yeah, that's it.
Did he say he's going to be licking that up?
Even taping this Corvette into a modern-day sarcophagus isn't going to be enough for Jamie. Next, he calls in a pyramid for its burial, a hopefully smell-proof shipping container.
We're just turning it hard. Push it back a little further.
That was incredible, you people. Fabulous. I didn't think it was possible.
Ominously crawling around the floor of the container are first maggots, a taste of the trauma to come. For now, the car is sealed and set to stew for 2 months. Will it set a new benchmark for stench? Find out later in the show when the real horror of the stinky car begins.
Woo! This is horrifying.
Roll up for the greatest Mythbusters show on Earth. How could a rat up a drain pipe, a roasted toy raccoon, and a sharp-dressed dummy turn into a disaster area? Take your seat as we ride the Raccoon Rocket.
In 1998, in Carbon County, Pennsylvania, apparently some good old boys, from the sounds of it, were hanging out on their porch, drinking beer, and they saw a raccoon go by, and so they all opened fire on it.
So they noticed that the raccoon's taken refuge in a drainage pipe. So one of the smart fellows goes over to the drainage pipe and he pours gasoline down there and he tries to light it.
Unsuccessful at doing this, one of them decided to go down into the pipe to better light the gasoline and get the raccoon out, at which point the gasoline actually did ignite and it shot this guy out the tube at a high rate of speed.
He goes shooting straight out of this pipe and he flies about 200 feet right over the house and falls and manages to get up relatively unharmed.
Well, it sounds like we have all the information we need to proceed. What is the plan? Have you got a plan?
Well, we need a big ass pipe, I guess a sewer pipe. It's got to be 20 feet long, 3 feet in diameter. We got to have 5 gallons of gasoline. We have to have some means of igniting it safely from a distance.
I have one more question about this.
What's that?
Which one of us is going to get launched from this pipe?
Well, you, of course.
You know, much as I'd like to do it, it sounds to me like it's a job for Buster.
Buster is the silent partner of the Mythbusters team, a long-suffering crash test dummy.
I am making a new knee for the crash test dummy. We have busted him up so fully that both of his knees are completely shattered.
Weighing in at 180 pounds and standing 5 foot 10 inches tall, Buster represents roughly 95% of the United States adult male population. His role is to behave just like a human would in extreme situations, something he excelled at for many years when he crashed cars for a living. Since joining the Mythbusters, he's been through hell and high water, all without a word of complaint.
Well, what's next in line for Buster is to put him in a 3-foot pipe with a bunch of gasoline and maybe even gunpowder and see if we can launch him like a cannonball.
Before Buster becomes a cannonball, Jamie and Adam need to find the cannon. That means a trip across town in search of some monster drainage pipe.
Hi, I'm Jamie.
Andy. Adam. Nice to meet you guys.
How you doing?
Oh, pretty good.
I think we're here to pick up some really big pipe.
It's a pipe lover's paradise.
What's this stuff normally used for?
Storm and sewer drain, mostly storm water.
Bingo! Stormwater drains, 3 feet wide. Exactly the kind of drain a terrified raccoon and its boozy pursuer might stumble down. Adam tries it out for size.
Oh, that's pretty cool. You know, it makes me want to like... All right, that's enough of that.
After a peek at the pipe, Jamie's mustache is twitching.
It's all a whole bunch of stupid stuff.
The more he thinks about this wild raccoon chase, the more he thinks it's the truth that's gone down the drain.
The biggest problem that I see is that you can see that I fit pretty easily in this pipe, and there's a lot of room around me, a lot of air room. And so even if there is a big blast, all this air is just going to go right past me if there's no seal.
Thank you. This is one of the rare occurrences where Jamie and I agree all the way down the line on this. He's right. It's the problems are myriad. The myth is almost patently ridiculous just on its face.
But when there's a hint of flames or explosions in the air, the Mythbusters will make it happen.
I think one way or another, we are going to propel that dummy quite energetically out the end of this tube. I don't think it's going to work quite the way the myth says, though.
Let's bring on this raccoon.
Back in the workshop, Adam creates a remote you won't lose under your couch.
I've got this lighter rig, which we've used before on Mythbusters. It lights a lighter remotely, and in the past I've always used cable, like bicycle cable, and it's never been quite reliable, so this time I'm gonna actually go with a small pneumatic cylinder, which will go and light the lighter that way.
This will let him light the gasoline in the pipe from a safe distance.
It works. Excellent. So, it is the world's most complicated lighter.
Now, fully recovered from knee surgery, Buster needs to be dressed for the occasion. This stylish woolen sweater and slacks outfit will protect our dummy from looking unfashionable and save him from melting. The fabric of choice for firefighters and Formula One drivers, wool is one of the most fireproof fabrics you can wear. It does not melt, and it does not support a flame.
Yeah, you know, I don't think Buster's ever looked so fashionable. I mean, dude, you are looking sharp.
Time to grab a $25.98 toy raccoon and put this myth to the test. Our firing range is an abandoned airfield on the outskirts of San Francisco. Job number 1, get that pipe into launch position. For this, our boys will need a nice new toy.
I think this is the biggest thing we've driven yet. Very, very, very cool. Yeah.
But does anyone know how to drive this thing?
So did you get any instructions on it?
I did not.
A few quick tips from the backhoe delivery man, and Adam is an instant expert.
This goes side to side to side. You can drop this pin in the center,
Okay.
and it'll
It'll lock it.
yeah, it'll lock it from going like this. That was fun.
I'm gonna back it up a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's like a secret escape hatch.
Woo! You know, he's taking an awful long time to do this. I think he's having just a bit too much fun.
Finally, our cannon is in position.
Well, we've just covered the pipe with dirt, and so I guess we're gonna pour some gasoline down there and light it with the dummy in the tube. We pretty well know that nothing's gonna happen.
We'll get a big whoosh of gasoline out of both sides of this tube, but besides that, it's not going to launch this dummy in any way.
The stunt is ready. So where's the fall guy? For extra fireproofing, Buster gets a dressing down with a special flame retardant gel.
Okay, so we're gonna shove him about 3 feet up in there.
Yeah, feet first, because his head's got to be down, like he scooched down the pipe with a lighter and was like, you know, that kind of business.
The scene is set exactly according to the myth. We have one not-so-smart man, Buster, who's crawled down a 3-foot-wide drainage pipe, chasing a raccoon.
Like that. There we go.
Like this?
Yeah.
The raccoon's probably all the way at the very end, you know, up against like a steel grate or something like that. So he's probably like right here, trying to be as threatening as a raccoon soaked with gasoline can be.
Okay.
Let me get my automatic match.
The Mythbusters team gets ready for launch. Cameras will cover it from every angle. Sensitive equipment is protected by a bulletproof plastic shield. A baby fire truck is at the ready, and it's Big Daddy, just in case.
Excited, we're gonna blow some stuff up, then we go home.
Now, Jamie adds the final element, 5 gallons of gasoline.
Okay, it's kind of a lot. Oh, it's kind of really a lot. It's a lot of gasoline pouring out of there.
That's it.
That's it. All right, get out of there. Okay, here we go. Standing over here with me, Jamie?
Yeah.
In 3, 2, 1.
0. Nothing happens.
Tell me if you see it lighting.
Yeah, I don't see any flame.
Seems that pesky raccoon slipped down onto the lighter. He's repositioned, and we are clear for launch.
Okay, here we go. There we go. We have ignition. Put it out now. Go. Well, that wasn't nothing at all.
Nope.
That was like a little campfire.
Well, it probably would have set the whole tube on fire after a while. It singed the heck out of our raccoon.
Let's see how our raccoon did.
That's one piping hot toy raccoon, all right, but not much else, and certainly not enough to satisfy the destructive desires of these two strange men.
The myth is in fact busted.
But there's always two parts to a Mythbusters story. There's replicating the myth, and then there's duplicating the result. And we replicated the myth, we got nothing. Now it's time to see what it takes to launch him out of that tube. I think we're gonna have to go back to the shop and think this one through. It's not trivial to turn this 20-foot-long tube into a human cannon. We can't just put gunpowder behind him and hope it'll launch him. It's just gonna blow him up.
Back in the shop, Jamie's mind contorts around a devilish conundrum.
We pretty well know that the dummy's not going to get launched out of the tube, you know, just by sitting there. So we've got to put a container around it that actually remotely seals the dummy in the tube.
He needs to make a tricky device called a sabot. In the world of weaponry, a sabot is used when a specialized bullet or projectile is too small for the barrel of a gun. The sabot fits around the bullet to seal the chamber so the blast from the gunpowder can send it firing out of the barrel. It's hard enough remembering how to say sabot. Now, Jamie has to work out what to make one from.
That's about 2 feet, so darn, that tube's big. It's gonna make me work.
What about stretching a car inner tube around that and inflating that and squeezing that between a couple pieces of ply?
These two professional problem solvers go into the Mythbusters mind meld.
Put two of them around there and then they gasket to each other. We fill them just up enough.
Stretch it out onto there, or we could probably
Back
put
it, I'd say, with one piece of ply.
around and around. That would make a very
side.
dense thing.
I suppose it's just like 4 gaskets of plywood.
Out of the brain blender comes a juicy plan. The sabot will be molded from foam.
Oh, Jamie, that's beautiful.
Easy as pie. But, usually things don't work this easy.
35, geez, you're within a quarter inch.
Yeah, seems like it should be perfect. So without this thing, gases would just go past the dummy and not propel him. With it, it blocks the chamber, and hopefully it will carry the dummy with it out of the barrel. The sabot will fall away in its 4 parts as we've designed it, and the dummy will continue on his trajectory.
Let's hope the plan stays on target, because back on the firing range, we are now working with dangerous explosives.
Second circuit, just to the end of the tube here, and then if we have a problem with the first circuit, we'll just tie into this.
Sounds good. So I'll tie this on and throw it on?
We want to fire a 180-pound projectile 200 feet. So, how much gunpowder will we need? Well, in World War II, the guns of the mighty U.S. battleship Missouri used 660 pounds of explosive powder to launch 2,700-pound projectiles with a range of up to 23 miles. There are no records of raccoons being present on the USS Missouri.
Back up on the backup. Preparing to launch.
John McLeod normally creates pyrotechnics for Hollywood films. Today, he's cooking up a different kind of blockbuster.
We're using 10 1-pound cans of the GoX black powder. That should give us a pretty good bang.
Buster is locked in the sabot and loaded into the pipe.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Oh, baby.
Okay, we need a little more push here.
All right, here we go.
Okay, ready? That's good, right?
Well, that's tight, huh?
That's pretty good.
Cue the bomb.
So that's the 10-pounder, isn't it?
It's a 10-pounder.
Don't look like much.
Not until it goes off.
The local geese are heading south to safety.
You think they can tell we're about to blow something up?
John will use an electric detonator to ignite the powder. With the wiring all checked, it's time to seal the end of the pipe.
Look at that, that's perfect. All right, I'm gonna bury it.
The pipe must be plugged to direct the force from the blast towards Buster and send him out the other end of the tube. Will it work? That's in the lap of the gunpowder gods.
I think if the worst thing that could happen was it would rupture the back end of the tube and maybe shoot dirt and sand and possibly little rocks.
It's also, I'd say, 50% likely that it stays back there in the tube and the whole thing just blows up. That's totally acceptable to me as well.
The whole damn thing could blow up for all we know, but our best shot is that it's going to come out of there, and it's going to come out really fast, and it's going to look really cool.
Jamie is so confident, he's parking Buster's wheelchair right where he thinks he'll land.
Jamie, you hoping to catch him?
Yeah.
All right, that's about the most optimistic thing I've ever heard. If you catch him, I'll give you $100.
Okay, let's put this Big Bang Theory into practice.
You got some? You want to put some protection on there?
I think I'm all right.
He thinks he's all right.
Firing in 3, 2, 1.
Oh my God!
I almost made the chair.
You almost made the chair.
We've got two very excited Mythbusters on our hands.
He survived. Buster survived.
Already.
Ah. Woo.
Came out there with some horsepower. didn't it?
How you feeling, buddy?
It worked absolutely perfectly. I was off by about 5 or 10 feet.
Buster heroically executed a textbook superhero-style exit from the cannon.
Oh my God.
You know, I got to say, I think we planned this whole thing really well. The sabot worked. He did launch a significant distance out of the barrel.
The myth says 200 feet that the guy lived. I tell you, watching that dummy land, there's no way he would have lived at that distance, let alone that distance again. This myth is just, I mean, complete and utter lunacy to think that it's true. Well, Buster, how you feeling, man? What do you think? Raccoon rocket, true or busted? What do you think, Jamie?
I'd say it's pretty effectively busted. You know, we would have died if we'd been in Buster's place, that's for sure.
Man, he is a little worse for wear.
You've heard the fairy tale of the 3 little pigs, right? Well, in this myth-busting moral, one got away, and the other 2 have been quietly decomposing in a 1987 Corvette for 2 months. Huffing and puffing? You bet. The moment Jamie and Adam open the doors of that car. And it might be the Mythbusters house that gets blown down. They're testing the myth that if someone dies in a car, it can get so stinky you can't clean it and you can't sell it. Time to call in an expert in extreme cleaning. Neil Smither runs a business called Crime Scene Cleaners.
It's a cleaning maintenance service specializing in biohazard, primarily homicides, suicides, accidental deaths. We're really known now for doing just extreme cleanups, stuff other people just won't mess with.
He knows exactly what the stinky car of the myth would smell like.
And that smell, you can taste it. You just can't even describe it. It's such a unique flavor, but you know instantly what it is.
Time for Jamie and Adam to get their hands dirty on a training run with the Crime Scene Cleaners.
We're here cleaning up a coroner's van.
I expect to learn a lot about their protocol, how they approach moving through a vehicle to find the smells, and I think that's going to be invaluable to cleaning out the Corvette.
That's not residue from melted popsicles, you know? It's the real deal.
I'm afraid I'm not quite as enthusiastic as the owner of this company is about this kind of work, but it'll be interesting.
Let's start with cleaning the top of it.
Have you heard the myth of the stinky car that can't be sold?
I have heard that. It's a fallacy. Totally.
What was that?
It's a fallacy.
You can get the smell out? Wait a minute. Now that's a big news flash for Jamie and Adam.
So what you're telling me is that there's no smell that you can't get out, is that right?
Yeah, I think if you clean it correctly, there's no smell that we can't get out so far. And we've done some radical smells.
There's a methodical, meticulous approach to this kind of cleaning.
Thanks. Knock yourself out.
All right.
Any speck of scum that's missed will keep on stinking. The boys have discovered that Neil uses a special enzyme-based cleaner to wipe out really bad smells.
The enzyme secret mix that we haven't been informed the contents of.
This may just hold the key to getting the Corvette clean. The enzymes create a chemical reaction with organic materials, speeding up their breakdown into smaller, simpler pieces. Just like the enzymes in your saliva start breaking down food from the first bite.
It's hot.
This warm-up bout with the crime scene cleaners is a success. Invaluable training for Jamie and Adam's upcoming fight against the funk.
Well, it's really helpful to talk to a professional about this kind of thing. We just kind of go in and start doing it.
I thought the myth was entirely possible and plausible when I first heard it. But talking to Neil and seeing how well this stuff works, I think we might be able to clean this car out, and it might not smell at all.
Either it is cleanable with the enzyme or it gets ripped out, and we will get that car clean.
Brave words.
We will get that car clean. We will get that car clean.
So, let's put that confidence to the test. It's been 2 months since this car was turned into a stink bomb. Now, it's Judgment Day. Time to terminate any fresh air on the Mythbusters' doorstep and open that awful container. Watching on is the nose that always knows, Neil, the extreme cleaner.
I'm catching whiffs here and there, and it's pretty typical. I'll have a better indicator once we get in, but right now it just smells like standard death.
All right, well. Oh, man.
And while our rookie cleaners look like they're ready to enter Chernobyl, the pro calmly knocks back even a nose clip.
No, I'm okay. It's not that bad.
Now the car has to be rolled out of the container and into the yard.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's foul. They're not gonna bite.
You should see the comments.
Climb in.
All right. Here we go.
Go for it, Heineman. Oh, man.
Well, one thing that bothers me is that it's raining in there. Like any place that I move around, I'm like gonna get covered with, I hope these things are waterproof. Are these waterproof?
Not really. I mean, those are more than anything else. I would just hurry up, just get it done.
Oh, my God. That is horrible.
The pig's sort of like sealing off the whole area. It's like fluid over the parking brake.
He's gonna have to think awfully fast, coated with gore.
All right, removing the sandbag here.
Yeah.
Here it comes, here it comes, here it comes.
Then, an unforeseen drama. The decaying pigs have given off ammonia, a potentially fatal gas that almost overcomes Jamie.
Oh, woo! How you doing, Jamie?
It's the ammonia. It's not the smell. I was not getting any air. It's not a spew. I was going to pass out.
Because the Corvette was sealed so carefully, the gas was trapped and concentrated inside the car.
Stop.
Oh, man.
It's the ammonia. It's not, the filter's not handling it. I need a separate air source.
Oh, my God.
This thing was useless.
As the whole grotesque reality of this car lover's catastrophe hits home, the Mythbusters are reeling. Jamie looks like he's about to pass out. And our own Mr. Confidence is going a little weak at the knees.
No way. No way. There's no way we're cleaning this thing. This is horrifying.
I think, having to get in there and close the car with these two remnants of creatures was probably one of the more horrible things I've ever had to do.
What's the worst thing you can imagine?
Okay, Adam.
I can't get past this. Oh, it's disintegrating. Oh.
The ever-helpful Neil is just glad it's not him.
I would just put a bunch of paper towels in and let the paper towels soak up as much of that liquid as you can, because you're going to have to get in there.
Yeah.
You know, literally laying down to get to the bolts. Are you going to lay in that puddle?
I really, I won't be sad when this day is over.
This is a severe cleanup, no doubt about it.
Oh, man. Oh. Oh, God.
They're not prepared for this cleanup at all.
I gotta say, this respirator works really good, because the smell even from over here is horrifying. Oh, my glasses are all, I'm gonna move over here.
When you pull the seats, you better have something to contain them, because they're going to pour liquid.
The carpets, the seats, the door panels, all history. And there's a lot of work left.
Well, we got all of the wet stuff out of there. There's still little dribbles here and there, but, you know, shoot, we must have removed about 300-400 pounds of wet something.
I have to say, I didn't expect that this would happen, but I see myself as a vegetarian for at least the next couple of weeks.
Don't want to do that again.
Now, Jamie and Adam try out the tip they got from Neil, the crime scene cleaner, using a special bioenzyme fluid to cut through all the organic gunk. They're praying this might give them an edge in the war on stinkiness.
The quantity of flies has decreased. We've been doing something.
Well, I know we've been doing something.
Something the flies don't like.
Something's really bad right here.
Now it smells like a diaper, a really bad diaper.
If my baby's poo smelled like that, I'd take him to the hospital immediately.
After a full day of frantic, forensic scrubbing, the boys are coming to grips with a grim possibility. Corvette lovers, cover your ears. This car may never drive again.
Are we actually cleaning a car to get the stink out, or are we just removing all the stinky bits and ending up with a parts car?
Seats were so bad that they were just falling apart. So what are you gonna do? If they cost $6 grand, the car's not worth that.
I think we can get the stink out, but I'm not sure that we end up with something that's really a car.
We can safely say one part of this story is true.
It is possible for somebody to die in a car and ruin it.
But can it be completely cleaned?
Even Neil said it would take his boys several days to get rid of every last thing and put it back together again.
There's no doubt in my mind that we could resurrect the car. The only question is whether it's practical or not.
I mean, the place where I think you would never get it out is like all the air conditioning system and the ducts and stuff. I know all that stinks. We can clean the car perfectly and be like, it's done. And we turn on the AC and be like, ah, you know.
Given the way the car smells now, even selling it for parts is going to be pretty difficult.
I tell you, if I took one drop of the juice we cleaned up yesterday and put it in your car, you'd want to sell your car.
So what's the final verdict from the Mythbusters? Jamie would be quite happy never to see that car again.
Oh man, that is nasty.
That myth's busted. There's no way you're gonna sell the car after that.
You know, Jamie, I want to get away from this smell as much as you do, but unfortunately, we said we'd make a stinky car, that we'd try and clean it out, and that we'd sell it. So we got to go through the third phase. We got to try and sell that car, even if it's only for parts.
Bummer.
1 week after an infernal cleanup, it's time to sell. But will they find a buyer?
Knowing how bad it was, it's not nearly that bad. But it's worse than anything anybody else but me and Jamie have ever smelled.
Smells more like a barnyard now.
No, the smell hasn't gone, and the car isn't going anywhere either.
What is that? Ready?
Yeah.
Nothing. I'm not sure I'm getting any power at all to anything. Really would be helpful to get it started to sell it.
The fuse box is fried.
Yeah, this is all corroded. It's all green in here.
Maybe some more scrubbing will work.
How is this doing over here? I'm gonna try and start it again. I'm not getting squat. Are you sure it's hooked up?
Yep.
Positive and all that?
You bet.
Adam is ready to raise the white flag.
Now we push.
But Jamie is determined to get this car started.
It's just a little bit of corrosion is all we're talking about. It's a real simple thing if we can find the spot.
Like the engine's fine. We should be able to sell it better if the engine's running.
You know, you can't really ask a lot of money for a car that doesn't start with no interior.
If I can find the starter solenoid, then we can jump it.
It's a total Jamie thing to like pursue these avenues that seem completely ridiculous and end up with total success. It's really unnerving.
Eventually, Jamie admits defeat.
You gonna help push?
No, I was gonna watch from up here. You guys doing any work at all? I think I'm carrying this whole thing.
It seems like we trashed this car, and that's all we did. Like, we put some pigs in it, it ruined the car, and it's junk.
I think the question is, how much money can we get for a big piece of stinking junk?
Not very much.
Let's clean it, close it, sell it off.
It won't start, and it stinks of dead pig, but it will look good. Time to place an ad on the internet to entice some buyers with an unbelievably cheap '87 Corvette.
All right, so we want to sell this car. What should be in the ad?
Well, I guess we should just list the good things about it. It's like shiny, it's got a good finish on it.
Shiny.
It's got good wheels and tires.
It's a great parts car. We lost the interior.
Yeah, we just lost it.
Hidden cameras are set up to secretly record the reactions of unsuspecting buyers. So, who will buy this slightly soiled vehicle? Maybe a die-hard Corvette lover.
I didn't know it was gutted.
Yeah, well...
Is that how you bought it?
No, don't like that, huh?
Jamie will have to do the hard sell on this one.
I mean, we're only asking
Yeah.
$3,000 for it. You could, yeah. So you could take it for parts. The wheels alone are worth like $700-800 bucks, and still not impressed.
No, I wonder how much that smell seeped into the fiberglass.
No sale. The guy from the junkyard has a sniff.
That stink. Right.
Well, I think it's worth about $500.
Well, we're definitely going to wait for better offers than that.
So does it even start?
How about this gentleman?
So is there an interior for it?
No.
What's that smell?
He seems kind of interested.
And how many miles does it have?
It's got I think it's got a $250,000, but it's only 50,000 on on this engine.
Well, I'll let you know if I'm interested.
All right.
After sleeping on it, he becomes our buyer.
Guess what are you going to do with the car?
We're probably gonna part it out. I'm interested in the engine and the transmission.
The stinky car is going cheap.
A couple of things.
Only $2,000.
There's the title and the keys.
But at least it's finally gone.
So there you go, man. No shortage of buyers. I don't think that there's a car in the world that's too stinky to sell.
If somebody dies in a car, it can easily get so bad in there that you're not going to just kind of wash it with some Windex and some stuff like that and be able to sell it like it was.
I think we busted both halves of this one.
I guess we did, didn't we?
I still can't get that taste out of my mouth, though.
God, what a horrible thing that was.
Absolutely.
Horrible.
Horrifying. Horrifying.
That was something else. I'll remember that the rest of my life.